This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free 800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, one very simple address, X-Zone Radio TV, and our main website at www.xzoneradiotv.com. Exonation, my guest this hour is Stephen Dillard-Carroll. He's been a student of tarot for 5 years. He has read tarot since almost the beginning of his tutelage. He's read for family, friends, neighbors, strangers that he's met along the way, and now he's here with us tonight on the X-Zone. Now, it's his belief that we all have the answers inside of us for all life's questions. It's just sometimes we need someone to help guide us to those questions within ourselves. And that's why he does tarot card readings, not just to predict an outcome. And this is, although he's really good at that too, but to listen, help, and guide you along the way to finding the answers for yourself, thereby helping you live the best possible. His website is www.thetravelingtarot.com. And Steve, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you so much for having me this evening.
I would just like to make a correction here. It's www.travelingtarot.com. And it's our great pleasure having you with us, Steve. Has tarot changed over the years, or has tarot basically stayed the same since its conception way back in history?
Well, what's interesting about tarot is actually it started out as a card game. It actually started out as like a trump game, like spades or hearts or something like that. The earliest known, mention of tarot was in Europe. Some say it dates back even to Africa and Egypt, but there's no solid proof for that. The most solid proof that we have is that tarot originated as a card game sometime in the 15th century.
Wow.
And at the time, it only had 22 cards in it. And over time, more cards were added. And, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And then by the late 18th century, heading into the 19th century, mystics and psychics and people of that ilk began to use it as a divination tool. And it's been used as a divination tool ever since. And actually, there are still some parts of Europe even today that use tarot cards as a card game.
Wow. Tell me, Steve, here we are in the 21st century. Everybody has a handheld device and the internet, and information is instantaneous. Why do people still seek out tarot readings?
Honestly, I think it's because people, especially today, where you can have, 1 million Twitter followers and you can have, 1 billion Facebook friends. There seems to be a need for people to actually connect one-on-one, face-to-face, in real time with someone. Because honestly, like I said, you can have 1 million Twitter followers, and at the end of the day, you don't really know any of them. And so when people come to seek out anyone from, psychics that have any different disciplines, whether it be tarot or anything else, I think it's for that basic human connection that we all need and that we all desire to have from one another.
I would imagine that, that makes a lot of sense, because if people would be able to just communicate with friends and family about the situations that they present with tarot card readers or psychics, it would be different. But apparently there seems to be this little need with people to try and find out what lies ahead. And you and I will talk more about this when we come back from this commercial break. Stand by, Stephen. Stephen Dillard-Carroll is my special guest, www.travelingtarot.com. And Stephen and I will be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Welcome back, everyone. Stephen Dillard-Carroll is my special guest this hour, www.travelingtarot.com. And Stephen, there's a lot of misinformation about what a psychic is and what a psychic is not. Why don't you describe for us what, in your opinion, a psychic truly is?
Well, first of all, I do believe that we are all born with psychic abilities. It's just over time we're conditioned to say to ignore that part of ourselves. You have if when you're holding a baby, and sometimes that baby will all of a sudden stare off into the distance that has nothing to do with you, or sometimes a child will have an imaginary friend, and over time will say, "Oh, you're too old for that nonsense," and so over time we're conditioned to not believe in the magic of childhood. We're encouraged to leave the magic and the wonder of childhood behind and focus on what is quote unquote real. And so so we end up becoming not as in tune to our own abilities as we were when we were children. But at the same time, if you've ever had a hunch, or if you've ever, for our women listeners, had what's known as women's intuition, or you know someone's going to call before they call, or all of that, that's still that's your psychic abilities manifesting themselves without you even knowing it. And the only difference between me and anybody else out there is that I happen to do it for a living. So that's what being a psychic is. We are all born with it. We all have it. It never goes away. It's just that some people are more in tune with it. Some people choose to be more in tune with it than others. What a psychic is not, in my opinion, and this is just Stephen talking, in my opinion, I am not a walking magic 8-ball that you can come over to and shake, ask a question.
I've been doing this show for 23 years, and I've never heard that example. But I've got to tell you something; it rings so true.
Well, I just came up with this a few weeks ago because I was actually
shaken
another radio show,
okay.
And we just did readings back to back to back to back to back. I mean, it was just it was like a speed round,
right?
And at the end of the show, I was like, I am not a walking magic 8-ball.
Oh, my heavens.
There you go.
There you go. When you're doing a reading for someone, Stephen, somebody sitting in front of you, how do you see it? Is it in your third's eye? Is it clairaudient, clairsentient? Do you use your tarot cards at the same time while using your psychic gift? Well,
I tell you, I am clairaudient. I hear things when someone comes to me with the question. The universe will say, tell them this, or tell them that, or tell them the other thing. As far as